You're looking live at a daily chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which was the leading index today. The Dow Jones was up, it was near a new high. It almost made a new high. Let's check it out here. 431 points, something like that. Um, and it ran up to 42,562, which is a tick below the high from 42,628 on September 27th. So it's just near a new high. Here you can see this pattern once again here as it pulls back to its 21 fine support. Now, big bounce today. It was a leading index today, nearing a new high. And I'm going to get to some of the components there in a minute. Just wanted to point out that strength. Also, the S&P, kind of breaking out of this little shelf type pattern, if you will. This little shelf here as it pulls back near its 21, fine support, and it's now bounced the last couple of days and breaking above that shelf is very bullish, in my humble opinion, for the S&P 500. And the Nasdaq was the laggard. It was up 108 points or 0.6%. And I still pretty far away from that 18,671. There it is right there. Today the high was 302. So it couldn't even take out the 327 from it's September 26th. Anyway, moving on, I did want to point out some of the names in the Dow Jones that are powering the index higher today. One is Caterpillar, which was one of the leading Dow 30 stocks today. It was up more than 2%. I think there was only one stock down. It was Boeing. But anyway, a lot of them were up and the index was higher. Caterpillar was one. Honeywell is another. Nice move on Honeywell, more than 3%. IBM, Big Blue. Uh, Gosh, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? Just surfing its moving averages. There's your little wedge pattern back to the 21 here. And then it's just been up every single day since. All right. Another one. Oh, big surprise here. Nike. Nike, they switched CEOs and I don't know, maybe it's going to do something. It was up 2% today. And Disney as well. Yeah, it was up 1%. Anyway, I'm going to be a little quicker today because I got places to be, unfortunately. I'm going to go quickly through the Mag 7. Apple, obviously a Dow component. It was up 1.67%. Amazon, another Dow component, up 1.34% today. So, yeah, just consolidating in a base here. Microsoft, trying to get through these moving averages. A lot of resistance there, and maybe it will do it eventually. Google didn't play along today. The Department of Justice, I guess they want to break these guys up here. I don't know if they're going to, spin off YouTube or something. So they have been kind of floundering, and Meta Platforms has been benefiting from the weakness in Google. So that's one of the better looking Mag 7 stocks. And there's Tesla just kind of flattening out here. They're going to have a robo-taxi day. I don't know. Usually those things are, buy the rumor, sell the news, but this looks like a nice cup with handle pattern. And then NVIDIA just flat on the day. It broke above its downtrend line on recently. How about that? What'd you say recently? Last week, I guess, was a Friday. No, Monday. Monday broke above its downtrend line. Now, rally Tuesday. Today just, I don't know, you call it flat, I guess. Just flat in the session. And anyway, I want to take a look at some of these semiconductor names because they weren't flat like NVIDIA. This is Broadcom. This thing looks fantastic. And I had an earlier buy point on this one at MC Stock Chart. It's been on there for a while. I'd have to look back. I think this week I had the buy point at 177.10, maybe right there. But anyway, last week it was lower and the week before lower than that. But anyway, it's been grinding higher. There you go, above that 177.10. You can see the pullback to the 21, that little bull wedge pattern, which I've been talking about every darn day. And anyway, Broadcom looks fantastic. A-Lab got a boost today. They announced some new products. This is a move not to be ignored. Nearly a 16% move with strong volume. So A-Lab, recent IPO. Got to look at the weekly on these IPOs. Yeah, just maybe getting through its due diligence phase here, possibly, and maybe start an advanced phase. We'll have to wait and see. ARM, this looks really good. Cup with handle pattern. It's got that one, 149 area buy point. You can see it's just surfing its moving average right here in the 21 and bouncing. So ARM looks good as well. And I'm just going to mention a couple other names in the hardware department. Networking stock, Arista Networks kind of blew through 400 here today. I want to see if it can, blast through there, or if it's going to have problems with that round number. Keeping an eye on that one. VRT, another this cup with handle. If you didn't get it, when we got it back at around the 82 level back in here, I mean, there was another opportunity in here. I think I've had quite a few buy points here, and then the high in the handle here is another, I'd say add-on buy point or a standard buy point, 103.69. And today you can see it's just pushing away from its base. So Vert looks very good. Vertiv, I should say. SMCI. They split 10 for 1, and now, yesterday it rallied up to its 50, got rejected. Today had an inside day. It's got a lot of work to do here, trying to carve out that bottom around that 37 level. You see it made the low of 38, then tested it at 37, and then now it's above 40 and 47. So, yeah, SMCI, just watching that one. All right, today we saw once again the China names selling off here. This is FXI. This is second day in a row, third day in a row. No, was it 2 days in a row? Yeah. Monday they were fine. Then Tuesday, Wednesday they've been selling off. JD, that's KWEB, the Internet Index. This is JD finally coming down to its 10. Tiger, wow, 3 days of selling there, down 14% today. FUTU, okay, yeah, Baba. They were just selling these names. They were also selling the energy names, which have been up a lot lately. This is Vistra VST, and this was up 13 days in a row. If I look down here, sold off one day, and then it was up another 6 days in a row. And then now the last 3 days have sold off, and that just coincides with the pullback to the 10 EMA. So, I wouldn't buy here. I would wait till it bounces, because it could come down to the 21. It could come back to this old buy point. So don't just jump in saying, oh, it's at the 10, I'm going to buy. Wait for the bounce, make it prove itself, because it could come back to that 107 area. That would not surprise me at all. But it could bounce tomorrow as well. CEG, Constellation, another one selling off here. Yeah, this sliced its 10, down $17 today. So, and that's kind of the way this thing rolls. You could see if you just follow along here, it makes these big moves. This one consolidated, made a big move, then sold off to the 50. Another move, then sold off down to the 200. So, this thing, yeah, it's made a big move up here, but it could come back at least to the buy point here. So, don't jump in these just because they're down a little bit, because they can come down a lot more. We've seen that with these utility energy names. All right, Talon, this one sliced. It's 21 today, so I don't like the looks of that. Maybe it'll find support and bounce tomorrow. We got to wait and see. But yeah, those are weak. The China stocks were weak, and they were rotating, back into the the tech, the AI names. There's Palantir up another 4% today. That stock is super strong. ZETA, they announced they bought a company, and then they announced guidance, which was 255 million, which is about, I want to say 38% growth if they hold there. So you'll see 20, 24, 33, and now they're announcing at 38. So you're seeing accelerating sales growth, and that's why the stock popped today. ZETA looks fine. It's just getting a little extended now from that 10 area. I don't know how far away from the 10 it is. It's yeah, 8% above the 10. So maybe we'll come back to Daddy. Speaking of Daddy, GoDaddy. This one's consolidating within a base. I like this stock a lot. As you can see, it hasn't given you much of a chance to get in. Maybe a little pullback here, maybe a little pullback here, but it's really been running hard. And now we're getting into this, box, this base here. And I like this stock as it breaks above this downtrend line on Tuesday. It added a buck today, but I think it's just going to go right back up to that 167 level, and then we'll see from there. But GoDaddy looks very strong. And the last one I want to show, no, I lied. I have a couple more. App, To me, this is the leader of the group. It was flat today, yes, but look at this thing. It's just allowing the 10 to play catch up. And then DocuSign. DocuSign means business. Breaking out of that stage one base, and that looks good. It's up 8.5% this week. So DocuSign looks great. But you know what was really cooking today were the cruise liners, which is kind of surprising. This is a Norwegian, up 11%, CCL, because a lot of these, no, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are ships that leave out of the Miami area, and that obviously is going to have Hurricane Milton descending upon it here pretty soon. So it's going to be rough seas, but these stocks are responding nicely. Is Carnival, and then there's Royal Caribbean making a big jump today, and then Viking. This is one I had on the ready list here. As you can see, it's consolidating within a base, trying to push away from the base. Nice, nearly 3% move today. We'll take that. So the cruise liners were doing well. So is the insurance group. This is Bro. This one looks good too. It's got to break out of that box though, that 106 area. Jackson, another one of these insurance diversified, making new highs. That one looks good. A couple of the financial names. FICO, this one's 2100. That thing's been moving for a long, long time. And then Vertex, VERX, just consolidating around that buy point there around 40.05. Nice tight, forming a shelf, allowing the moving averages to catch up. And so when it trades down one day to the moving average, you might get a bounce there. So I'm watching that one closely. All right, just a lot of the industrial names are doing well. Some stocks that I normally don't cover. Badger Meter broke out of a base and just trending higher. That thing looks really strong. And there's Cummins, an engine maker. Cummins, just breaking out of a base, trading higher. PNR is Pentair, another one. We've seen this before. They break out and then they pull back, to a moving average. This one almost made it to the 21 and then popped. So that one looks good as well. Pentair. A couple other ones. EXP. This is more of a, you can see the gypsum wall board. Of course, they're going to need that after the hurricanes for sure. And this one, just a bull wedge pattern back to the 21 has popped all 3 days this week, nearly 4% move. And same with KNF Knife River. This is a concrete company. You can see it made this big move and now it's just flagging here 3 weeks in a row. That looks like a 3 weeks tight pattern. Yeah, look at that as it just wedges back to its 10. That looks pretty good. So that could appear on the Reddit list one of these days soon. All right, now the food stocks. We need food, right? Cal Maine, this one's just going ballistic. Broke out of this base here. So obviously you don't want to buy stuff up here. You want to let this green line catch up a little bit, let it pull back, like we were seeing with the energy names. Don't be chasing that stuff up there because you're going to get burned on a pullback. VITL, this is the Austin-based egg company. Just forming a base here. This one looks fantastic. You can see the moving averages at 10 to 21 have traded through the 50, and this one, is in a power trend. That one looks really fantastic as it builds the right side of its base. A couple of medical product stocks is just not doing well. This is Intuitive Surgical. This is a leader. It just undercut its 50, popped 2% today, but this one can't get out of its own way. TMDX, Transmedics, yeah, below the 50. This one trading like what. And then CDNA, they hired this Professor Wong today for their artificial intelligence. And this thing sold off 12% down to its 50, even closed below the 50. You can see this nice base here, trading tight within the base, and then wham. So we'll see in the next couple of days if that's just a shakeout or if this is continue lower below its 50. I'm really interested in seeing this medical product stock. Did not do well today. Anyway, that's it for me, except for I lied. I have a couple things. I just want to take a look at a couple random stocks here. Reddit looks pretty darn good. The trade desk here looking very good, making new highs. Glowworm, GLW. Corning, once again, this one making the that wedge pattern, just trading down to the 21 with whisper quiet volume, and then bam, there it goes up 5%. And so that's the kind of stuff I am looking for. Then an oil and gas stock, oil's been down the last few days. They haven't been doing that well, but this one is a refining company in Targa Resources, just powering higher. You've got all the blue bars down here. So anyway, thank you for watching. Except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I just have to mention the folks in Florida, the Sarasota, Tampa area look like they're going to get hit pretty hard by Milton, probably tonight, tomorrow, and southern Florida looks like it's going to have another disaster on its hands here, so we keep them in our prayers. Just want to mention a couple of names here that usually do well in storms and disasters, and you can see Chinerac, the California fires, the Californians. Well, we all need a backup supply at our house of energy. If you don't have solar as a backup, it's always nice because a lot of us are keeping valuable things in our refrigerators. If the refrigerator goes out for a couple days, you lose like your medicines and all your food and all that stuff. So Generac has been doing really well. RPM, it's the the drywall, the coatings, roofings, sealants. This is DAP and Rust-Oleum company. This one's just been making new highs and ripping higher. Sherwin-Williams, obviously the paint store, pull back to the 50, and then bounce nicely this week. Beacon, this is the roofing company, and you can look at in their group and see other companies that are doing well. And TGLS, this is a glass company with all the damage to the glass. I'm sure they're going to need to replace, and insurance will cover it, hopefully. And this one's been doing well also. So anyway, I'm going to end there. Thank you for watching. I have a place to be here real soon. So I'll have a ready list tomorrow morning at mcstockcharts.com. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening.